Maratha Quota activist Manoj Jarange Patil has announced, remember he's already on an indefinite hunger strike asking for quota for the Marathas. Now Manoj Jarange Patil has announced that he will stop drinking water as a part of his ongoing war for quota for the Maratha community. Patil has been on hunger strike protest at Mumbai's Azad Maidan. Patil is continuing his indefinite hunger strike for the third consecutive day after talks with the Maharashtra government remain inconclusive. The Maratha activist has demanded a 10% reservation and a quota benefit, in fact, for the Maratha community under the other backward classes. Patil has vowed not to withdraw his agitation until their demands are met, including granting Kunbi status to the Marathas. As far, remember, this is not the first time that he's on a hunger strike. He did it earlier as well. A massive protest was taken out. That time the government was able to in fact placate him, and it was just before the elections. Now post-elections he's once again asking the government to fulfill the demands that he had made earlier. The government is engaging with the quota protesters, and speaking to NDTV, Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has said that the government is hopeful for a solution soon.
उद्यापासून मी आता काल आणि आज पाणी पिलो. उद्यापासून पाणी पिणे सगळं उपोषणाचं मी बंद करणार. सरकार मागण्याची अंमलबजावणी करत नाही, त्याच्या लक्षात येत नाहीये. त्यामुळे उद्यापासून मी पाणी बंद करणार आहे. आमरण उपोषण कडक सुरू करणार. उद्यापासून पाणी सुद्धा बंद. आणि पाचवा मुद्दा, मराठा समाजाच्या एकाही पोरानं दगडफेक अमुक तमुक करायचं नाही. समाजाला खाली मान घालावं लागेल असं एकही पाऊल कोणी उचलायचं नाही. सगळ्यांनी शांत राहायचं. त्यांना किती आपल्यावर अन्याय करू द्या, अत्याचार करू द्या, मला तुमच्याकडून शांतता पाहिजे. काही करून तुम्हाला मी आरक्षण देणार आहे, त्याशिवाय मुंबई सोडणार नाही हे शब्द आहे माझा. फक्त तुम्ही शांत राहा.
गणपती बाप्पा सर्वांना सुबुद्धी देतील आणि सगळे एकमेकाचा विचार करतील असं आपण अपेक्षा व्यक्त करूया. मुळातच आपल्याला कल्पना आहे की 2014 ते 2025 हाच काळ असा आहे की ज्या काळामध्ये 3 वेळा आमचं सरकार आलं आणि 3ही वेळा आमच्याच सरकारने मराठा समाजाकरता अनेक योजना सुरू केल्या, आरक्षण दिलं. त्याच्या आधीच्याही सरकारने काही केलं नाही आणि मध्ये असलेल्या सरकारने काही केलं नाही.
Let me bring in my colleague Anuj Jarange, who is joining us from Mumbai for more on this. At one point, the pressure tactic as far as the Maratha community, Manoj Jarange Patil is concerned, continues. But this is also a question this time about the promises that were made before election, which have not been fulfilled after the victory. Anuj.
Well, yes, that is the primary basis of this entire argument, and the protests for Maratha reservation aren't something new. In fact, they've been happening for the longest time, but they've intensified in the last 2 years. I'm standing here outside the CSMT station, which is, and the Azad Maidan, the primary protest spot is also very close to me, and as you can very clearly see, the place has been swelling up with protesters, and this is day 3 of the protest, and this again becomes a very primary location in the city, right? Although the protests which have mostly been concentrated in the southern part of the city haven't really affected the larger movement or functioning of Mumbai city, but because the protests peaked during the weekends, the test or the litmus test will happen tomorrow, because tomorrow is a working day. CSMT is the primary railway station of Mumbai, and this becomes an important commercial area as well. And if the area continues to be blocked because of the protests, and if there is no long-term feasible solution for the protesters, things might get a little tough going ahead, especially as working week starts. Talking about the development on the protests perspective, Jarange Patil, addressing the media a while back, made it very clear that for the first 2 days he did not consume food, but from tomorrow onwards, if there is no solution to this problem, he will stop consuming water as well, and is hinted towards intensifying the entire protest. While that is happening on one hand, on the other hand, this the cabinet subcommittee, which has been named by the Maharashtra government, which has been given all the rights of the cabinet itself, are holding regular meetings. Yesterday we saw that the divisional secretary of the state did hold a meeting with Jarange Patil, where Jarange Patil made it very clear that Hyderabad and the Satara Gazette needs to be implemented as soon as possible. But Radhakrishna Vikhe Patil, who is heading the cabinet subcommittee, addressed us a while back and made it very clear that there are multiple legal hurdles in implementing the Hyderabad and Satara Gazette, which give a direct, or which make it clear that the Marathas are Kunbis and hence make them eligible for OBC reservation. This issue, as much as it is executive, is more so over a judicial one, which is why the role of the state government in this entire matter becomes very critical, or becomes very limited at the end of the day. More importantly, another meeting will be held by the additional divisional secretary of Maharashtra and the Advocate General of the state, Virendra Saraf, tonight, or rather today evening at around 5 p.m, where further development or update on what is to be done by Maharashtra government when it comes to addressing the questions which have been put forth by Jarange Patil comes into the fray.